Hello everyone and welcome back to Arctic Retro. In this video I'm going to take a look at this floppy disk drive for the Commodore machines, and it's a third-party floppy disk drive, a clone of the 1541, but it's quite interesting. I don't know if it's working or not. That's what I'm going to find out in this video. As you can see, the drive appears to be quite anonymous. It doesn't have any labels or any thing at all, no logos, nothing. But it came with a couple of manuals, and it says here OC-118N, and it is a 5¼ inch floppy disk drive. But it also came with a similar manual, and here it's called KY1000. But the contents of these two are exactly the same, 36 pages. And here's one in German. Bedienungsanleitung. Ha ha ha. I don't know who wrote that, but it's funny. And it's the same manual in German. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. If you need to have produced your own PCBs, then just visit PCBWay and you can get an instant quote for your own PCBs produced for as low as $5 for 5 PCBs. They also do other stuff like advanced PCB. They do CNC machining and 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and prototype PCB assembly, among other things. Also visit their shared project site, where you can find a lot of already made PCB designs. So go ahead and visit PCBWay.com and check out their services. This was a donation to my channel from Robert over in Sweden again. He's giving me a lot of stuff and I really appreciate it. Thanks again, Robert. So I did a little research now about this drive, and it turns out it was produced by Oceanic Electronics in Taiwan, and it was sold under various names. The OC-118 and the Accelerator Plus and the KY1000. In Europe it was most known as the Oceanic OC-118. And in the US it was called the Accelerator Plus. So it's essentially the same drive, different naming. This was a highly compatible drive. There were other various third-party floppy disk drives that could be used with the Commodore machines, and that was somewhat compatible with the 1541. However, many of those wasn't fully compatible, and you could struggle with running some games like copy-protected floppy disks. However, this was very compatible in most use cases, and it even features a built-in fast loader, so you could run this without the fast load cartridge and those things. Not really sure if it can utilize JiffyDOS or something like that. The ROM is not the Commodore ROM. Also notable is that it uses a slimmer and more reliable and more quiet drive mechanism, and as you can see, this is obviously much smaller than the original 1541. Actually, I do have one of these drives from before, and I made a video about it a long time ago, at least 3-4 years ago. But I've forgotten all about it since then. And then I didn't have the manual. So let's take a brief look at the manual, what it contains. It's introduction, specifications, installation, using programs, disk commands, sequential files, random files, relative files, programming the disk controller, changing the device number, both software method and hardware method. Yeah, I think this has dip switches for changing the device number. The device number is 8, 9, 10, 11 and so on. Yeah, this is the KY1000 manual, and it actually says KY1000 there. Let's see if it says the same. Yeah, here it says OC-118N. Yeah, the specifications, slimline construction. Capacity per disk is 174.8 kilobytes. 144 directory entries. Sector per track is 17 to 21, bytes per sector is 256, and 35 tracks. Average MTBF rate of 8,000 hours. Yeah, and it runs on both 117 and 220 to 40 volts AC, 50 or 60 hertz, and it uses 24 watts, 2.8 kilograms. Yes, and here's a little picture of it, a drawing, and how to install it. We all know how that is done. You just plug it in. And how to use the programs, load commands, save, verify, different disk commands, which we know is a pain on the Commodore 64 BASIC. You need to use this open file command and then issue some cryptic commands to do various things like formatting a disk. Like here you open a stream to 15.8.15 and you print I to initialize it. Here's the format command. You print a new 0: disk name and the ID of the disk. Yes, so I won't go through all this. Programming the disk controller. Yeah, that's maybe a little bit interesting. There is a 16K ROM in the disk drive as well as a 2K RAM. So I'm not sure if this is compatible with the original 1541 or what when it comes to programming it. I'm not gonna dive deep into that. But there's various examples here, basic programs. Yeah, you can execute the program in the disk memory. It's kind of cool. Changing the device number, and here you can do it either by issuing command in BASIC, or you can use the hardware method, which is 2 small dip switches. Yeah, and here's how you set it. For device number 8, they should be both on. For 9, it's off on. 10 on off, and 11 off off. Yeah, interesting. And it came with this power supply, and this is in fact labeled Oceanic Electronics Corp, made in Taiwan. And it is the regular voltages used for the 1541 floppy disk drive, 5 volts and 12 volts. However, the connector is not compatible. It's not the same DIN connector as the 1541 uses. This is a 5-pin DIN regular, but the 1541, it either just has a built-in power supply, or in the later versions, the 1541-2, it has its separate power supply, but the pinout is different, I believe. However, the serial data cable is the same. It has this 6-pin DIN connector cable, and it's arranged like this. So that's the same, obviously, as the 1541. And you can chain 2 drives together because it has 2 input-output ports for serial data. It mentioned the dip switches, and they are there. And it seems like they're both on, so this is device 8 then. I guess you couldn't see that. Here's a little bit more clearer zoomed in. 2 dip switches there. Alright then, let's hook it up and see if it actually works or not. But before that, I always like to check the power supply, see if first if it's working or not, and that it has the correct voltages. And then it's nice that we have the pinout for the connector on the actual power supply. Yeah, that's good. 5 volts, great. No, I actually do not get any 12 volts out of this. So then it will obviously not work, because I'm pretty sure the drive motor uses the 12 volt. I'll turn it on now, see if it does anything. It powers on, but it doesn't spin. It should spin at the startup. Alright, here's the other power supply for the other drive I mentioned. I'm gonna test that, see if it spins. This one's working, I know. Yes, now it spins. Yeah. Okay, we have a faulty power supply. That's a little bummer, because I'm not sure if these are easily obtainable, but I'm just gonna open it up first, take a quick peek at it and see if we can see something obviously that can be fixed. However, is it possible to open? I see no screws. They won't budge. Nope, this seems to be impossible to open. There's a little line there, but it's impossible to get in between the top and bottom part. Seems like it's been welded or something. So then I think it needs to be cut with a Dremel or something. I mean, I could just do it because otherwise I have no use for it, but it would be great to open it without destroying it. It is possible to pry it, but I think it's gonna be very hard. It's very hard plastic. Okay, then I use a little brute force here. Probably gonna break, but I don't care. It's broken already. Oops, yes. Yeah. Not a serviceable friendly design for sure. Okay. Probably has some stiff tabs inside that's just locking it in place. Yes, it's off. So what do we have here? It's has a couple of screws. Obviously, working on these power supplies can be dangerous because they can contain high voltages even when turned off. Okay, so the transformer is glued down to the plastic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything is burnt. There's no fuse or anything. The caps, they look alright. There's only a couple of diodes and a couple of voltage regulators, I think. Yes, here we have a 7805 and there's a 7812, so that's two voltage regulators. There's no high voltage caps in this. I said it could contain high voltage, but it actually doesn't. I'm gonna measure the diodes, see if they're okay, and then I'm sure this is just a 12 volt regulator that's damaged and that I have and can replace. Alright, it's a little bit difficult to see with the heat sink around. I have the multimeter in diode mode. Yeah, 0.5 volts, and on the other direction yeah, it's the same. And these smaller ones 0.5, 0.5. So this is a bridge rectifier, I guess. 0.5. However, I was expecting 0 voltage drop in the other direction, but this might be due to it's in circuit. I'm trying to remove these screws for the voltage regulators, but it's full of Loctite, so it's quite stuck. No, it's impossible without stripping the head. No, I just stripped the heads on the screws. Just need to cut them, but these seems very hard screws. They made it really difficult to access this power supply. Use a little brute force. Those screws are gone, but now we can remove this. Oh yeah, it's all loose. Yeah, the 12 volt regulator is all loose. I'm not sure if that happened now when I was manhandling it, but yeah, I'm gonna replace it with a new one. This is a 1.5 amps rated. 7812 should be good enough, I think, I hope. I think actually the trace is also broken under the solder. I'll see when I remove it, but in that case we need to do something to fix that. Might have happened now that I tried to take out that screw. I used a little bit too much force, or it might have been like that. Maybe it had a fall previously and this broke loose. Yeah, that's the trace sitting on the tip of my desoldering iron. I think it's a little bit strange that I caused this now, because I thought then maybe it would have ripped or lifted the whole trace there, but I don't know. Yeah, that snapped right off. Yeah, so I need to repair that. Just grind away a little bit of the metal and then I just make some wires or something. So this wasn't supposed to be a power supply repair video, but yeah, that's what often happens with these videos. They turn into something different. Could be more interesting or worse, I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to see testing of the floppy drive, or do you want to see repairing a power supply, if I can even repair it? Need a thick layer here. Yeah, I have this. It's a thick leg from a diode or something. Just need to cut a couple of pieces and then solder them in. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, and I'll be back when that's done. Yes, I think this is good. These are solid and thick. So now I'm just going to insert the voltage regulator and solder it in there. Make sure it's a good connection to the wires I made. So actually I'm going to attach it to the heatsink before I solder it in, because then it will be soldered correctly and no particular strain on the solder. Then I can loosen it afterwards and add some thermal paste to it. Now I just need to hold that in place, pushed down while I solder. The clue here is to get a good solder connection. I'm afraid to heat too much, because then it melts on this side and I need to start over again. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Check it a little bit more closely. Do you have a good connection? Yes, it's solid. It's solid. Solid. Okay, I hope this fixed it. If not, I'm not gonna do anything more with this power supply. Then I'm gonna use the other one. Just gonna strengthen the other regulator a little bit, since I did strain it too. Okay, add a little bit of thermal paste here. It's gonna be messy, but that's okay. Way too much there, but that's okay too. Alright, it's fixed, I hope. Yeah, obviously that cover won't stick anymore. I'll glue it in later. For now I use some tape, just to be on the safe side here. We don't want any accidents, do we? Okay, I'm powering it up now. Let's see if it starts smoking or something, if I did something completely wrong. Nope, it didn't. Let's measure then the 12 volts. Yes, yes, I saw 12. We have 12 volts. Nice, this is working then. Plug it into the drive, turn it on. Yes, motor spins. Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it on now for a while. Check if it gets any warm or something. But I mean, when the motor's not spinning, it's not drawing any current, so might be pointless. Alright then, let's test the drive. I have hooked up my golden Commodore 64C. And since the drive spins and then turns off, it seems like at least the ROM and the CPU is working. Okay, let's see now. It actually came with a floppy disk inside. Doesn't say what it is, but yeah, let's see if there's anything on that. Nope, it says file not found, blinking. But the drive appears to be working actually, that's nice. I'm checking the other side, see if there's anything there. Nope. And it also came with this Ocean Robocup. Kopparberg original Swedish quality discs. Let's try a Robocup then. Yeah, that's loading. Oh, it's empty directory. It just says load star, 8, 1. Special formatted disk. Let's try that then. Yes, loading. Oh, it's banging. I guess this is a copy protected disk. Yeah, that seems to be loading just fine. Flashy, flashy. Oh. Robocup. I don't think I have ever played this game. That loaded very quickly, so definitely some fast load routine on this. You can duck, but you cannot jump. Pits. Oh, you can shoot upwards. Nice. Oh, I died. So the drive seems to be working just perfectly fine. Why it can't load that other floppy, I'm not sure. It could obviously be an empty floppy disk. Anyway, I'm gonna test this drive a little bit with the 1541 diagnostics. And that's just a cartridge with a collection of tools for the C64 to run diagnostics tests on floppy drives. So yeah, first thing I'm gonna run is the alignment check, and for that you need a good floppy that's preferably an original that has not been formatted in the drive you're testing. And ideally you should see a number close to 100, which this seems to be quite good, and it's quite fast. Yeah, seems like the last track has some issue on the between track percentage, minus 99. I guess that's where the copy protection is. Okay, I have inserted the other disk, the one that was faulty. I'm just gonna see if we can find something on it. The BAM. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to interpret this. Read error. We have the fast format. Yeah, that's really fast formatting. Okay, now it's good. So it was only that. It was empty. And we can do a performance test. It will do a formatting and then some writing and reading. This seems to be the normal formatting, and it's very quick compared to the original 1541, I think. Yeah, everything's okay. Everything passed. Yeah, good. Then we have the speed check. Normal speed is 300 RPM, and this seems to be very accurate. 300.3. That's less than 0.1% off. If we now do a sector view on track 18, yeah, it seems to be okay. We have the error scan. Even if the disk is successfully formatted, it can still contain some errors if it's a bad media. Yes, no bad sectors. The reverse knock. Actually, I saw a video a while back where they actually played music on a 1541 floppy disk drive by moving the head. I'm gonna test another game, Gauntlet. This is an original which I bought myself back in the day. And I even have the receipt. It costed me 225 NOK. That was in 1987. And this one can be a little bit problematic on some floppy drives, but this drive seems to be in very good shape, so I expect it to work. No, it didn't. Nope. Might be incompatible. So why is that? Another original disk is this one, Spitfire 40. Let's see if it can load that. Alright, it seems to be loading. No, it actually hangs here. I waited several minutes now. The drive is spinning, but nothing more happens. Okay, so this needs to be investigated. I'm gonna take an original 1541 drive and test both those games, see if they work any better. I hooked up an original 1541, as you can see. Let's try Gauntlet in this one on the same machine. I mean, it could be a faulty machine, you never know. But I haven't had problems with it before. This one's a little bit noisy, but I think it should be working good. Yeah, so that worked just fine on this drive. So I guess there's some incompatibility issues with the other. How about the Spitfire game then? Yeah, that worked too. I haven't really played this game. I guess you need to start the engine. Yeah, I don't want to figure out that now. Alright then, I thought I'd just do a little speed comparison here, because supposedly the Oceanic drive has built-in pass load. So I'm gonna load this Exploding Fist. It's 160 blocks. See how long that takes on the original. So I'm starting timer now. 3, 2, 1, go. And it completed in 1 minute and 43 seconds. So that took a while. Yeah, and it worked. I was never any good at these kind of games. So now I'm gonna try the Oceanic drive, see if it's any faster. And this game doesn't have any copy protection, it's cracked, so it should obviously load if I only can write the command correctly. Okay, 143, and now let's start it. 3, 2, 1, start. Yeah, it loaded a little bit faster, 126, but I mean, that wasn't a big difference. A good fast loader, you should expect maybe 6-7 times the speed. So that's like 20% faster. The manual doesn't mention anything about fast load, but I just read it online that this drive has it, but I'm not sure how it's supposed to be working. For sure it's faster. But did it load correctly? Yeah, seems like it did. Alright, so the drive is working nicely except for those original games, but I'm gonna check it inside, see if it needs a little bit of cleaning or something. We can take a look and see how it looks inside, that's always interesting. See if we find some date codes on when this was manufactured. Alrighty, yeah, looks very neat. Yeah, it's quite different than the original 1541, but it has a 6502, not the MOS, but the UM. And here's a 8858, two of those. There's a gold star, it's probably RAM, and there's the ROM, and that looks to be just a generic EEPROM. Maybe I'll take it out and read it out, see what it contains, what the contents is. But it looks very clean, and the date code, it says 89, week 31, 88, 88, 89. Yeah, very compact design. Oh yeah, you have the switch, take it off. It has a couple of boards, one board there, and one here on this side. And here's the actual drive mechanism, and another small board there. Yeah, when it comes to cleaning, I think there's actually not much to do here. It's very clean. There's no dust or anything, so I guess it wasn't used a lot. A little bit of blackness, but yeah, that's all. Anyway, I'm gonna clean off the head and lubricate these rails here. You see where the head slides. I'm cleaning the head now. I just use alcohol or IPA. And that's the read and write head. Just clean it carefully. And then I use a dry to clean afterwards. Then a little bit of silicone grease. Spread it a little bit on those metal bars. Yeah, and this is a direct drive mechanism and no belt, so that's good. Well, look at that. I thought it looked like just a generic EEPROM, but it actually prints JiffyDOS. JiffyDOS version 5, copyright 1988. So, if it's using JiffyDOS, then you need JiffyDOS in the machine to make it faster. Okay, I close this up again. There's not much more to do. There's two electrolyte capacitors that perhaps could have been replaced, but I mean, it's working, so no point in doing that now. It needs a little bit of cleaning on the outside. It has some black marks and dirt, obviously. Yeah, that's better. Okay then, I think that was it. I'm just gonna test it a little bit more. I'm trying the gauntlet game again, maybe now after cleaning it. I mean the head, but yeah, still it fails. So, I guess it's the copy protection that this drive can't handle then. However, pirated games it can handle. Another great game. Yeah, so cool drive. I was amazed that it has JiffyDOS built in. Not sure if that's original or aftermarket, but it has. And I just thought I'll test. I have a machine with JiffyDOS. Exact same, in fact, only original color. Well, apparently the machine with JiffyDOS is no longer a machine, but it is a complete motherboard, so we'll try to improvise a little bit. I used the case for something else, but this should be working. Has a JiffyDOS. It's original, I bought it, but I burnt it myself. We only need a keyboard, right? And the keyboard I have is this one for a bread bin. Yeah, it works. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, that was quick. That was only 15 seconds. So now we're talking. So we went from 1 minute and 26 down to 15 seconds. Yeah, so it definitely has some speed, yes. Alright then, that was it for this video. Nice little 1541 floppy drive clone, and it works perfectly fine. I was kind of hoping it didn't work so that I could perhaps fix it, but then again I might have not been able to find the correct parts for this particular drive. Still nice to play around with a Commodore machine and some old floppy disk drives, always. I hope you enjoyed this video too, and I just want to say thanks to my patrons and to all my subscribers. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. See you later, bye bye.